So this is Julie evaluating Susan's
Minutes, isn't it? 4, 5 and 6.
4, 5 and 6, yes, so they're well, 4, 5 and 6, although we often are less in
What
time
does it
than that.
matter?
4, 5
Usually
and
6 minutes now.
I'll stop on the red. Chair, fellow speakers and guests. Evaluating an A5 is all about assessing all the levels up to that, as well as the subject of the A5, which is using your voice effectively. The title, Frequently Asked Questions. This speaker started with a very clear salutation, and it was nice to see that she gave the guests a warm welcome. I think the topic was an interesting choice and certainly suitable for this audience. The speaker started with, is it legal? Clear voice, and certainly grabbed our attention and probably made us think, what legal? So I think everybody was probably engaged at that point. It was a dynamic start and it got our attention. There was some interesting use of quotes, and there was a specific gesture, which is actually the future level, when it said about something about choosing and put her hand on her heart. There were some pauses in, can't quite remember the beginning, but it was the school is not, and it was to do with the environment and socialising. And I think the pause there could have been a bit longer to go, oh yeah, maybe it isn't, to give the audience a chance to absorb what's being said. There was, for a speech, rather a lot of reading, and that meant there were some ums while the speaker was trying to find the place on the page, and it also meant that whilst you're reading, you're losing eye contact. The use of voice at one point did something about enjoy, and I would have really liked for a speech about use of voice to use that word enjoy with a little bit more emphasis, or the school is not, and be able to really make use of voice. The quote, it is better to be alone than in bad company, again, could have had a longer pause to just let that sink in. That giving time for that pause actually makes the speech more powerful, so that people can absorb it rather than just, I've got to get to the end of the speech, which can sometimes happen. I'm not saying the speaker was doing that, but it can give that impression. Then it came to the children are not giving a voice, and again, there's the word voice, and this speech is about use of voice. So there could have been maybe a play on that, or actually emphasising the children are not given a voice, tying in the subject and the title to the subject of the speech. So some suggestions for future speeches would be some more preparation to reduce the amount of reading, to make this more of a presentation than a reading experience. More variation, that comes with not having to read. It's so much more difficult to read with good tone and expression. It may have been useful to have a contrasting point. It was quite one-sided, and for the audience it might have been good to, so why would one home educate when most people don't. So to give a little bit of an overview of the differences might have been a way to round it up. So I think it was a very interesting speech. Certainly our chair thought so too. Overall an interesting speech, some room for improvement. As it's an F5, the speaker can go on to the next level and to bear these points in mind for the future speeches.
Thank you. And well done.